Hi lovelies, karibu sana to my YouTube channel. My name is Glynis. Thank you so much for joining us if you're new here. If you're a returning viewer, asante sana sana sana. And in case you're here and you still haven't subscribed, please do the thing. We are almost at 1,000 subscribers, and you all know what happens at 1,000 subscribers. We get a shot at monetizing and making money from this, which is huge. So please get as many people on board to subscribe to this channel. If it's helped you, if it's been good to you, if you think it could do some good to someone out there, please share it with them. And in today's video, the long-awaited VAR exams have finally been released. And because of that, we will be talking about the VAR exams, and then at the very end of the video, we'll get to know how I did, because it is public knowledge if you've been on this channel that I have been waiting to do these exams for a very long time. So let's get into it. Now, any loyal subby on this channel knows that this has been an insane year, and I just want to dedicate this video to talking about the bar exams, and I'll talk about it in three phases, which is the pre-bar exams, which is where most of you who are at the Kenya School of Law are, and you've already had so many stories about it. Then there is what happens during the bar exams, and then there is the post-bar exams, and then there's when you actually receive the results. So these three periods are life defining, and even before I get into this video, you will already be having so many people right now, if you're at the Kenya School of Law or even at law school, telling you if you do this you will pass your bar exams, if I teach you you will get your 9 P's in one go. You already know all these people, and whatever they're doing is not wrong, because the people who, when they sit the bar exam and they pass it at the first time, they're just like, because of what I did, I think someone else can benefit from it. But my belief is a bit different. So here's how I think you should handle all three stages, just to prepare you as you're going through your bar exams here in Kenya. And there's no one size fits all in this thing. Really, it's not. It's really a game of chance. So hopefully these few tips will be good for you, and you can just manage through the it's not an easy time for any lawyer in this country. It really isn't. KSL is one of the hardest academic years for anyone in this profession, and when you come out here into practice, you will hear it. If you're going through it and you're feeling overwhelmed, it's not just you. All of us went through it, and if you need a reference point, please go back to my old videos. You will see me trying to prepare for a bar exam during the pandemic. It was not interesting. So pre-bar exam. Pre-bar exam is basically the time that you're at the Kenya School of Law. According to me, this is more important than even the time you do your bar exam or the time after you do your bar exam. And this is why. Your pre-bar exam period, you do 2 exams. That is your project work and your oral examinations. Your project work should be the easiest exam that you sit for, because the project work is something that you've been given the question beforehand, you've been allowed to research on the question, and having been allowed to research on the question, you give your answer. If you can get 19 out of 20, get 20 out of 20, because the project work is something that you can manage. A lot of times the question is within the public domain, and you can handle it as best as possible. I already have told you guys, with project work you're working with people, so you really need to figure out how to build the team spirit and to get people working together, because you need to document minutes when you're meeting on how this project work was done. You need to document what every person contributed. You need to type out this work. So even if you have difficult people to deal with, please find a way to work together and to give your project work your best, because some of this project work is what really makes or breaks how the bar exam is gonna come out. So please do not joke with the bar, not with the bar exam. Do not joke with the project work. Remember, the pass mark for the bar exam is 50. So can you imagine if you have a 20, you're just looking for a 30 in your orals and in your exams. So please work hard in your project work. There's a lot of sleepless nights. I've seen you guys commenting and saying, oh, when I'm doing my project work, I don't even have time to study. Use the time that you're doing your project work to study those concepts, because they show up at bar exams. They show up when you're asked questions for orals. So you can easily at your orals be asked about a question that you have done for your project work. The second thing you have to think about is your oral exams. Again, I've done an entire video about this. You can go and watch it if you don't know what oral exams are. But oral exams are just an oral presentation. Remember the basics. Look good, feel confident, prepare as much as possible. I'll refer you to that video. I'll link it up here and down below. Please go and watch it. For orals, it's a bit problematic because you don't know the panel that you'll get. You can only hope and pray that you get an amazing panel. But as you prepare for your orals, look at the syllabus in its entirety. You can also be asked about things that happen in undergrad. That's what makes it overwhelming. So you can be asked a question in public international law. You can be asked on current affairs. Just go watch that video. It will really help you when you're preparing for your orals exams. Alternatively, get a coach for orals. Get someone who has already studied or done the bar exam. Get someone who can test your ability to speak in front of others so that you can be able to be confident, you can be able to just speak fluently, and if you don't know how to maybe interact with someone, you can pick up those skills before. So please do peer preps with your fellow colleagues, or if you're not going to do peer preps, get a coach, get someone who's already done the bar exam, and let them walk you through how the oral exams usually happen. That is pre-bar exam. That is what you can do when you're at the School of Law. During the pre-bar exam period, that is also when you do a lot of the reading. Please, as I told you in the video on how to navigate law school online, do not wait until third term to start reading. Start reading the minute you're in school. If you haven't started reading, this is your sign to start reading like there's no tomorrow, because there is no tomorrow. That you're saying you're going to do tomorrow will come and you will have so much to do and you will not be able to do it. So don't postpone, don't procrastinate. There's a whole video again that you can go and watch about that. Please do what you need to do today and give it your best. During the bar exams, which is the second phase, is how you actually go to your various exam centers. No, let's even go back. Registering for the exams, getting your exam card, getting to your exam center, sitting the exam, and actually being able to come out of the exam alive. Now, during the exam or during the bar exam, this is one of the wildest periods that I had in my life. Like, you guys, I used to leave the house before 5 so that I could get to my exam center, which was in Corp, so that I could be able to catch an hour of sleep and then read for like 2 hours before the exam starts at 9. First of all, when you're registering your units on the portal, please make sure you register for all the units, because it's 9 units at 5,000 bob for a total of 45,000. Do not wait until the last minute when the portal could be hanging for you to register for the exam. No, register early. If you're going to pay, please just pay via M-Pesa. If you pay via check and the check doesn't clear by the time the exams are gonna be done, you won't be able to sit the bar exam. It is so easy to just pay via M-Pesa, and everything is online. You register for the exam online, you pay online, you get your exam card online. Please just make sure you do not mess up in this process, because you do not want to have waited to do this exam for a whole 9 months and then not be able to sit it. So pay for it online, go to the CLE website, access the website in the evenings. During the day, during our time, it could get a bit clogged up. So just try and access it from like 10 p.m. It's usually very seamless. The payment goes through, you check your units, cross-check, double-check, triple-check, make sure you've selected all the units, and then download your exam card. Another tip I'm going to give you during the exam, have at least 2 copies of your exam cards. If you have a car, make sure you leave it in the car. Oh God, you people. There's a time I didn't carry my ID to the exam and I almost didn't sit that exam because it was conveyancing, and then vigilators were like, no, please have your KSL ID, have your national ID, and have your exam card. Make sure you fill in the details in your exam card correctly. Make sure that even as you fill in those details, you can have a spare exam card, or you can constantly take a picture of your exam card, so that if anything happens to that copy and you need to print a new one, you don't miss the serial numbers. So that's what you fill in your exam card, the serial number of your booklet, so that if anything happens and your booklet gets lost, you can easily be able to get back you can easily be able to look for the booklet in case of any missing marks. So during the exams, make sure you have those 3 documents, your exam card, your national ID, and your Kenya School of Law ID, every single day. Before you leave the house, make sure you've packed it. Also, when you're doing the exam, I'm sure you'll know this, you're allowed to carry a penal code for the criminal exam, and you're allowed to carry a calculator for the legal practice management exam. So have those 2. In the morning when you're leaving, cross-check that you have them. Another thing that helps you during the exam is have a group of friends who you just go to the exam center together. If you have a friend who has a car and maybe you don't have a car, you can help out with the fuel and you can just carpool together. It saves you a lot. Leave early enough so that you don't have to deal with traffic. Leave when the sun is not yet out, because when the sun is out, anything can happen. At least make sure you, by 6, the exam's at 9, but make sure by 6 you're on the road. You need to get to the exam center at least an hour before, because if you get late and 45 minutes pass before you before you're in the exam room, you won't be allowed in. So guys, keep time during the exam. Now, once you've sat all 9 exams, let me just tell you what usually happens when you sit the exam. You're gonna get out of, like, our exams, you guys. Hey, we had, for instance, legal writing and drafting. The entire paper was drafting. Question 1, we were told to draft an entire bill. Question that we had to draft, like, opinions, we had to draft contracts, we had to draft letters. We also had to do a lot of things that we had been told would not happen. Like in probate, we were told, oh, you can't be asked to draft the forms because the forms are in the prescribed mode. But 2 questions came on drafting. In criminal, I'm sure you guys had a lot about our criminal litigation paper. We had a question that looked like it was extradition, and then it wasn't. It looked like it was judicial review. We had a question that was about the investigating officer. We had a question that was about, goodness, can I even remember? We had a question asking us about the Murachetu case. Please, guys, as you even prepare for exams, read case laws. And don't read case laws, the small exciting parts. If it's 30 pages, find a way to read all 30 pages, because in exams, you're just given a paragraph and your also was asking us, what was the relevance of the Murachetu case? And you can easily say, oh, it talked about the fact that the mandatory nature of the death penalty was not supposed to be prescribed in all cases. And then what? So when it said that, what was the implication of that? What does that mean in the legal system? Do not read cases nusu. Okay, read the entire case. It really opens and broadens your mind. The other thing also about the exam, even when you see a paper and you feel like you know nothing, write what you think could be the answer, because with bar exams, it really depends on who's gonna mark your paper. And the people who mark these papers are people who are in practice. So these are people who, in as much as they have a marking scheme, it is simply the art of persuasion. You have to make this person marking your paper feel like, I can relate to what this student is saying and they have a point. And sometimes for difficult exams, they usually make the question an open question that as long as you wrote something, they're gonna give you marks. This is information that I have now that I've actually sat the bar exams, but I'm just telling you guys that you can do ahead of time. Write whatever you think is relevant to the question, especially for a question that is not direct. For a direct question, limit yourself to what the question is asking. Now that you've sat the bar exam, the most difficult part is post-bar exams, when you're waiting for the results. Like, you wake up in the middle of the night thinking, oh my God, why did I write that answer? You start thinking, what happens if I pass? What happens if I don't pass? The pass mark is usually 50. The goal is to get 50 in all 9 units. The thought of not getting all passes at once there's no word for it. You feel like you just want to get over and done with Kenya School of Law. Here's what really got me through post-bar exam. The thought that you did your best. That's why the pre-exam period and during the exam period, those periods, it's so important for you to make sure you've done your very best, so that as you wait for the result, whichever way they'll come, you did your best. Your conscience is clear and you can say, come what may, I really did do my best. And you have to understand that during our time as we were doing our bar exams, it was in the middle of a global pandemic. We were the first lot, right? We studied 6 weeks in school. We went on a break until August. Then we went back to do online classes until March. And then in April, the school wasn't ready to give us the exam. So we took a break. After we took a break for a month, we had to go to pupillage for the entire month of May. We had to go back home in June and then sit the exam. So there was so much up and down. The only thing you can do to just feel like you're okay, don't even get me started on the wars on Twitter with CLE, like, You guys, it was mad. The only thing you can do is to make sure that you're doing everything you can so that you know that you did your best. You cannot predict who's gonna mark your paper. You can only pray and trust for favor from God to just have someone mark your paper favorably. It's not the same people who teach you who are going to mark these exams. So you have to wow them, and that's with prior preparation. And we all know that prior preparation beats poor performance. So you cannot take it to chance. Read like there's no tomorrow, so that when you sit that exam, you know that you gave every question your best. During the post period, before you get the results, you need to keep calm. It is almost impossible, but get it out of your mind. Just try and do your best not to overthink it. Once you've had the whole period of waiting for the bar exams, the results finally come out. Here I don't have any tips for you guys because I also did not handle mine well. I was in court when I got my results, and one Elvis Wakaba had even already texted me what I had in my exams, so I can't tell you guys how to take in the results, but I can tell you that the one thing you need to know is after you have done your preparation, after you have done the exam, that is a win. Whichever way the bar exams come out, don't take it as a measure of your intelligence. I know this, in this country, we have had the 844 system, and we've been praised for being number one, and we've been mocked for being number last. But the one thing the law has done for me, and maybe I'll do this in another video, is when you get your mind out of thinking by being number one, I'm the best, and you get your mind into understanding that how I can be able to pronounce myself on a concept is what matters, or how I can hone my skills to be exceptional at that thing that I'm doing, that's how you're able to be the best. And I'm actually reading a book called How to Be Rich, and in this book they're talking about how you can win by competition, you can be rich by being competitive, but that robs you of a lot of peace of mind. The thing that creates true riches or wealth is through your creativity, by finding that one thing you're good at and excelling at it. Even as these exams come out, I really need you to know that whichever way it goes, whether you pass or whether you don't pass, whether you get 8 Ps, whether you get 2 Ps, whether you get 9 Ps, as long as you know you put your best foot forward, that should give you comfort. That should make you realize that you are good, you are the best. Even if people will go celebrating on their WhatsApp statuses and their Twitter pages, and you may not maybe have the 9 Ps in one go, you always get to fight another day. You always have another opportunity to make it. And some of the most exceptional lawyers out here in practice, they will tell you they may not have gotten the 9 Ps at the start. They may not have passed at a go. They may even not have done remotely as well as they would have wanted. Michelle freaking Obama did not get her pass at the first go. So please, just work hard, do your very best, pray, pray, pray. Take the time to take a step back and just put this year into reading. Whichever way the bar results come out, you will have known that you did your best. And that is it for this video. Thank you so much guys for watching. I am so grateful for the support. Oh, I'm supposed to say if I passed or I failed. I passed. So grateful guys for all the messages that you sent me, even when I went on a break and I needed to just take a break from content creation and just read. It means so much to have you guys, and all the wonderful messages you are sending me and just wishing me the best. I'm so grateful. But again, anyone who's watching this video, I hope it helps you as you prepare for your bar exams, and I hope you're able to give it your very best, and you're able to know that you are exceptional and you are worthy and you can make it in this profession. Let me wrap this up. Don't forget to be kind to one another, but most importantly to yourself. Have a very beautiful day. Bye.